¿Qué gente? ¿Cómo están? Estamos aquí en The Witcher de nuevo y nada, vamos a ver qué onda. Esta misión ha durado una eternidad. Yo sé que ni siquiera es principal.
Oh no! A panther's got at the nest!
Stand back. I'll take care of this. Eggs fell in a moss patch. They're fine except for one. It's cracked.
Will it do?
Think so.
Now what must I do?
You need to concentrate now. Repeat after me. Muna gandrau. Muna finerat.
Muna gandrau. Muna finerat. Muna gandrau. Muna finerat. Muana gandrau. Muana finerat.
Se supone que no siempre te da, digamos, te pasa de que se supone que lo que el Witcher dijo es...
Geralt, look, look. Oh gods, I shall be able to attend balls. I shall travel to Oxenfurt, to Novigrad even. Thank you, Witcher.
No sabemos cuánta vida tiene,
Not a
o sea,
thank
7
you.
años se supone, pero...
He's the one hired me to help you.
Yes, I'm grateful to him as well, immensely. Will you tell him so for me?
Should tell him yourself, don't you think?
Perhaps I should, but I would prefer not to. Convey my gratitude to him in my stead, please.
O sea, esos
He's so
diálogos
kind.
no, a veces no tienen importancia, la verdad.
Sure, I'll tell him. Farewell, Vivian.
Vuelve con Guillermo. Así que veamos por qué tengo que decirle.
I pledge my love to win the tourney with your name on my lips.
But
Welcome.
what if another knight proves victorious? Many a valiant man.
Geralt, what of Vivian?
Managed to lift her curse.
Truly? So all will be well. Her troubles are done?
Vivian chose what suited her best. She's completely free now. And happy, I think.
Without me.
You helped her. But that doesn't mean she owes you her love. Got this bard friend, philosopher too, I guess, amateur. He'd say, if you love somebody, set them free.
Do you know what, Geralt? You earned your reward, so take it. But keep your advice to yourself. Adieu.
O sea, no hay nada que yo pueda hacer, digamos, para que la mina lo acepte, ¿no? Es mi punto de vista. No puedes como él, o sea, si no te aman, ¿qué puedes hacer? Nada. Espero que esta misión no sea tan pesada como la otra, la verdad. Así que bueno, veamos. Pero la otra fue pesada, les voy a decir. Duró más de una hora, o sea, o casi una hora. Solamente esta misión. Es harto, o sea, para una misión secundaria.
Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basilfauti. By order of the Duchess, I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corfu Bianco.
Ah, este es mi
I
palacio, mi
previously served
viñedo.
with distinction at the Nibley family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary, demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Me gustaría poder
We
mejorarlo.
see I'm in good hands.
O sea, veamos qué
It
pasa.
comes
Pero
across
no
as a
sé.
place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Kedweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cut-purse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill.
Pero como digo, no sé qué tanto tengo que hacer. Si hay una misión es raro, ¿no? Digo yo.
Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Está hecho de mierda, hermano. ¿Para qué hay que ponerle
Really vast.
plata?
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please.
O sea, bajo mi punto
Been a
está hecho
major
de
domo
mierda.
all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of majordoms. My father was a major...
Déjenme un segundo cambiarme la ropa porque esa ropa no me gusta, la verdad, prefiero mil veces la otra. Aunque igual se ve genial la armadura, pero definitivamente mi armadura es mejor, diría yo.
Domo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great-aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Pero como les digo,
Great
se está
A
cayendo
hard
pedazos.
woman. It is said
Tal
that
vez hay
already
que
as a
invertir plata,
child, she
supongo.
knew where she was going and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to Major Domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path.
Pero sí, miren, ¿no sabes? O sea, es bonito y todo, pero está hecho pedazos.
The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays.
Es un viñedo, ¿no?
Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves
Richard,
planted in their
we could
place.
use one around here.
They look
Full
beautiful,
time.
especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
Lo and behold, I see better.
Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, It provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes.
And lo and behold,
Marvelous.
I see better.
Have to try it one of these days.
Ojalá que se pueda invertir y dejarlo así, pero espectacular.
Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda.
El problema es que, claro, como dije, si te van a dar un viñedo, lo aceptas, ¿no? Pero aquí hay que ponerle plata. Si no le pones plata, ¿qué sentido tiene tener un viñedo? Si está hecho de pedazos.
Monsieur Bolius' wife Nina kept a garden here. A supremely lovely.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation.
Ahora dice que nada me detiene para poder restaurarlo porque es una mierda, pero bueno, veamos. Ahora, esto debe valer
Madame Nina planted
200.000 o 300.000
diminutive,
monedas.
delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
Espero que me den un logro y que se pueda restaurar. Eso sí me entretendría. Por lo menos, no sé, para hacer algo diferente. Y tengo 400.000, así que no creo que ninguna... A menos que la inversión sea más alta que esa, que no creo. Me quedaría pobre, pero no creo que sea tanto, la verdad. Si es que se puede mejorar.
This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
Yo creo que sí se puede mejorar, ¿eh? Estoy no 100% seguro, pero por lo que habla, creo que sí.
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolis's time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the
Pues bueno,
mess, which
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
Puse una estatua, algo es algo.
as you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained.
Sí, claro.
But one cannot deny it, a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
Follow me, please.
Acá dentro. O sea,
And welcome inside.
bien humilde.
On
Por-
the left
por
is
fuera
the
se ve más
master
grande.
bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corfo Bianco is a beautiful estate. Though one must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling.
Vamos a hacer. Esta me gustó. ¿Crees que podríamos comentar algunas reformas? Sí.
Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Primero la casa.
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh coat of paint or some patching.
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rompelli's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking. Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he was a passionate collector.
Sí.
It's in your hands then. Make the place shine.
I shall get to work immediately. Within a day's passing, I shall have sent for the crew which rebuffed the Admiral's residence. They are the finest specialists around. Highly skilled at what they do, it shall not take them too long, I wager. 2 days after they begin, your eyes will behold your residence in its refurbished, rejuvenated, beautified state. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe it's time to make them more... useful.
Oh, yes. We certainly should. The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to put in a grindstone and an armorer's table. A good way to start things off, don't you think?
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce that. Could use a decent work table where I could do all that.
Admiral Rompelli once hired a specialist who made the finest armorer's tables this side of the Yaruga. I will contact him at once.
Barato.
Good. Order me up a table like that.
Immediately, sir. I expect it will take at most 1 day to arrive. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
In my trade, my blades get dull pretty quick. Could use a grindstone, professional grade.
Of course. No one would consider that an unnecessary extravagance, I would wager.
Then send out for one, please. A high-quality stone to be set up in the yard.
Of course. I shall send a runner to town at once. I believe you shall be grinding to your heart's content by tomorrow. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
Feels like by investing a bit of coin, I could...
I agree.
Starting to really like...
I agree.
Vineyard
Baron?
He was a...
No, he never said...
Shame.
Not at...
Parece que por ahora...
Thanks.
Que te voy a esperar 3 días y los veo, porque por ahora esto está bastante deplorable, digamos que no se ve nada bien. Y 5.000, o sea, 7.000 por 7.000. Bueno, ninguna de estas armaduras realmente es tan buena. Pero bueno, si tengo que elegir también. No sé, cualquier cosa. Así que como dije ya, bueno, voy a esperar los días como siempre hago y los veo cuando eso ya esté listo, ¿no? Porque aquí realmente está hecho un desastre. Pero es poca plata, ¿no? Yo pensaba que me iba a costar más. Así que eso, ya lo veo. Se supone que se devuelve con un sentido de esplendor. Tengo que seguir esperando, así que nada. Entonces, bueno, acaba de llegar el... Esto de acá, parece.
Blast my bum with a ballista.
¿Qué llegó? El herrero.
Just yesterday they were fighting like cats, and today they're in business together.
Llegó solamente el afilador, si no me equivoco. Y yo pagué por ambos, pero bueno, nos vemos. Se supone que ya se hizo la reforma general y la casa se ve un poco mejor. Un poco mejor. No diría que al 100%, pero bueno. Algo se hizo. Veamos qué más hay que hacer. Aquí, bueno, ya se ve un poco mejor también, definitivamente.
Renovations coming along all right, Barnabas Basil?
Superbly, sir. General refurbishment has been completed. And I took the liberty of adding 2 racks, each upon which you might hang weapons and armor, if you've some pieces you'd like to display. Likewise, I have prepared a few spots in which new paintings might be hung. In other news, the laborers dusting out the cellar have made a most unusual discovery. I believe it's something you'll wish to see.
If you say I should see it, I'll go see it right now, BB.
Quiero, o sea, no sé, ojalá que haya más mejoras y no sea solamente una.
My stomach growls like an angry wolf.
Esta es la bodega que...
Strange. Something behind this wall, I think.
Que no está nada mala, o sea... más o menos. Una mesa de alquimia.
A laboratory. Must have been an alchemist at one time.
Okay. Veamos.
BB, know anything about the laboratory in the cellar? One of the previous owners take an interest in alchemy?
A laboratory? Alchemy? I know nothing of it. But I understand that to a witcher this must be a very intriguing find.
It is. It was walled up. Equipment's pretty ancient too, so it must have belonged to someone who lived at Corvo Bianco before you started working here. Whoever it was sure knew their stuff, though. Got dragon glass vials and flasks, stills, sublimators, vangerometers.
Forgive me, sir, but I fear I don't follow.
Just saying, it's top-notch equipment. True masterpieces of craftsmanship for use in alchemy. Brewing a concoction with this stuff versus doing it over an open fire? Well, there's no comparison.
Then I am all the more delighted you discovered it, sir.
Starting to really like this place. Maybe we should keep going, refurbish some more. What do you think, BB?
As you wish, sir. Shall we see to the house or the grounds this time?
Feels like by investing a bit of coin, I can make the house more functional.
Indeed, momentum is best maintained once established. Now that we've finished the general renovations, you might begin to consider such things as a new bed or additional armor stands or weapon racks. Also, some new furnishings and a fresh coat of paint on the walls would do much to improve the guest quarters.
Vamos a mejorar todo.
Thinking about buying a comfortable bed. Always wanted one.
Excellent idea.
Me gustó esta parte, honestamente. Sé que es una estupidez y no lo voy a usar,
but say the
pero...
word, and I shall order you a bed from the carpenters who craft comfort for the court.
Great. Order me a fine bed, please. Think I deserve one at my age.
True indeed, true indeed. I shall send a runner at once. The bet will be in place by this time tomorrow. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Could use another weapon rack. Got some interesting pieces I'd like to display.
I know of a carpentry shop in town which crafts the humblest lumber into true masterpieces. You need but give the word.
Fine. Order the racks.
Of course, at once. At most 1 day for them to arrive, is my estimation. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Hasta el momento poco.
Along the path, I've often picked up well-crafted, beautifully ornamented armor. Some of those pieces would look great on display here.
I agree. It would lend the place a certain witch's air. Shall I order new stands at once, sir?
Yes, just please make sure they're solidly made and nicely finished.
It goes without saying, sir. There is nothing worse than splendid armor upon a subpar stand. By this time tomorrow, they shall be ready to display your finest finds. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Was wondering about the guest room. Not that I'm expecting company, but...
Oh, but that is immaterial. All self-respecting homes should boast a comfortable guest room. What if someone were to drop by unannounced?
Yeah, sooner we start on that, the better.
I can tell.
¿A cuánto te vas a gastar? ¿30.000?
I'll see
¿40.000?
to it myself.
Es
The
poco.
room shall be ready in 2 days, in my opinion.
Obviamente que si no
Is there
tienes...
anything else
Si,
you
o sea,
require,
este
sir?
juego tiene peso. Si vas con el peso, obviamente te va a cagar y no vas a poder tener tanta plata o te vas a demorar. Pero bueno, con un mod se arregla eso.
Starting to get into this whole renovating thing. There must be other things we can improve.
What a splendidly wise idea. Now that the general refurbishment is done, why not see to the grounds? Perhaps renovate the stables, or return Madame Bolis's garden to its former verdancy?
You know, Roach, my horse? Well, we've been through a lot together. And since I've finally got a decent place to stay, I think she deserves one too.
Oh, a sturdy stable testifies to a most honorable owner. Just say the word, and I'll have them start working on it at once.
My Roach deserves the best. Have them refurbish the stables.
I shall get to work at once. Yet finding work
Vamos a esperar, digamos, los días necesarios y vendremos, o sea, y
likely no more
vendremos
than
de nuevo
2
a ver si
days.
falta.
Will you be needing anything else, sir?
So, sometimes I have to brew a potion, but I can't find the herbs I need growing anywhere nearby.
Well, you're in luck, sir. The flower garden, once kept by Madame Nina, Monsieur Bolis's wife, seems the ideal place to cultivate herbs. In fact, it's roomy enough to plant
Me gustó este DLC, o sea, esta parte, bueno, en general me ha gustado, pero esto me gustó bastante.
Herbs there will save me hours of painstaking searching and harvesting.
The idea is yours, sir. I am but the humble executor of your will. I believe we shall have sown the first seeds in 2 days' time. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
Know what? Changed my mind. Not in the mood to talk about redecorating.
I shall be glad to...
Ahora, no hay nada más que
Starting to
mejorar.
With the utmost...
No. Por ahora no.
Thanks.
Entonces, 2 días y esto va a estar mejor. Ahora esto se ve todavía, le falta todavía, honestamente. Y el espacio sigue siendo muy pequeño, creo yo. Puedo colgar cuadros. No tengo trofeos. Uf, qué raro, y eso que he pasado millones de weas. Bueno, tengo 2 trofeos nada más. O sea, tengo millones de armas y no voy a poner, digamos, la arma que probablemente voy a cambiar, así que voy a poner cualquiera de estas. Estuve guardando muchas armas, si soy honesto. Espada lunar. Tengo solamente un cuadro más y ya no tengo más cuadros. Me equivoqué. Pondré, como dije, lo mejor que tengo aquí. No sé si lo mejor, pero pondré cualquier wea para que se vea, ¿no? Total, no lo voy a ocupar nunca, así que ahora mismo. Ahora, cuadros, yo no sé dónde comprar cuadros. Como dije, igual no voy a venir seguido aquí. Esto lo estoy haciendo porque ya estoy aquí y ya. Nos falta un cuadro igual. Pero no, como dije, no sé dónde voy a encontrar más cuadros. Claro. Porque aquí me falta otro cuadro. Y no sé quién pueda vender un cuadro. Necesito varios cuadros, la verdad.
Oh, you gave those bum diddlers a good reason to diddle their
Así que ya bueno, los veo en un rato porque voy a esperar el tiempo y vamos a ver qué onda. Bueno, ya esperé el tiempo y se supone que se hizo un establo para Sardinilla, pero parece que todavía hay cosas que remodelar. Se supone que también se mejoró esta weá de acá. No, se plantaron plantas, se supone. Sí, hay algunas plantas plantadas, pero eso más que todo. Pero igual sigo pensando que falta mucho. O sea, para mejorar. ¿No? O sea, sigue estando eso de madera, por ejemplo, que se ve feísimo. Y no veo, por ejemplo, el establo. O sea, el establo realmente... Se supone que yo pagué por un establo, pero bueno. No sé, no lo veo por ningún lado. Si este es el establo, es una mierda, se los digo ya. Vale. Veamos qué más se puede mejorar. Se supone que, bueno, recibí un cuadro de regalo, no sé por qué. Ah, no. Había visto que me habían dado un cuadro. Parece que no. Veamos.
Renovation's coming along all right?
I am delighted to inform you we have completed our labors. You can now devote yourself to enjoying the vineyard's delights to the fullest. You must forgive me my temerity, sir, but I thought, with all the work on Corfo Bianco completed, and with the estate looking more beautiful than ever, it might be appropriate to commemorate the moment.
Sure, why not?
During the tidying that preceded the renovations, I came across a bottle of Sapramento, the 1250 vintage. I cannot say by what miracle it survived, but it is here, and we've cause to open it today.
O sea, no se puede mejorar más, parece.
He ran straight into the crowd, burning bouquet in hand. All thought it a part of the performance.
Aunque yo siento que le falta más plata.
The decor began to catch fire. It was not until the flames engulfed Baron Mahevkin's beard that folk began to realize something was amiss and went to put out the fires.
Sounds like Monsieur Bolius and Madame Nina threw some first-rate balls here.
It was so. In this regard, Baron Rossel was decidedly more reserved.
So tell me, Barnabas Basil, what's the wine situation like here? Am I going to produce any this year?
This year is out, I fear, sir. Last autumn, a fungus destroyed all the vines. Baron Rossel had new ones planted, but it will be some time before they start bearing fruit. Assuming, that is, the fungus does not reappear.
That'd be bad. This Sapramento got me dreaming. It's amazing.
Isn't it, though? Allow me to top you off, sir. There.
Thanks.
Como dije, igual siento que se podría, o sea, hubieran podido alargar un poquito más esto, el argumento de renovar nada más. Porque al final, claro, renovaste, sí. No voy a decir que no. Pero sigue siendo todo esto de madera, por ejemplo. Y aunque no sé, eso también está de madera, como les dije, y eso allá también. Todo eso yo lo hubiera intercambiado y lo hubiera puesto algo más sutil. Pero ya no hay nada que hacer aquí, ¿ok? Así que más de esto no se puede mejorar. O sea, no está mal, ojo, no está mal, pero con toda la plata que tengo, definitivamente hubiera mejorado. Me tengo 500.000, o sea, se podría haber mejorado mucho mejor, mucho más. Probablemente no quisieron expandirlo y está bien, lo entiendo, porque igual hicieron un mapa bastante grande y todo, pero no era una mala idea que Geralt pudiera poner, digamos, más plata en esto y mejorarlo aún más. ¿Esto qué cosa es? Esto es otra armadura, ¿no? Sí. O sea, va a quedar aquí. Y eso, o sea, no. Igual es curioso porque el 14% de las personas hicieron esto, o sea, eso quiere decir de que hubo un interés por la gente por remodelar, digamos, claro, hubo interés de la gente por remodelar, digamos, el viñedo, ¿no? Pero bueno, como dije, hasta ahí sí llego en el viñedo, no hay más que invertir. Así que bueno, vamos a ver qué onda esta misión, porque ya acabamos todo lo secundario. Estuvo interesante, me gustó. Aunque hubiera mejorado mucho más la cosa. Por lo menos yo, o sea, sentí que faltó, no está 100% mejorado, o sea, eso de madera, por ejemplo, no me parece. Y el establo es una porquería. 5.000 monedas de oro por un estable mío. No me hubiera molestado pagar 10.000 monedas o 15.000 monedas. Si fuera así como...
Regis. Could have picked some other place to meet.
Eso es lo que pasa siempre con este bicho. Le explota en la cara, y que si con el veneno te mata. El lobo blanco, dice. Eso me ha aparecido varias veces, ¿eh? No sé por qué no. Hay más plantas. Voy a tomar los extractos y a ver qué onda. De nuevo, el lobo blanco. No sé por qué no me pueden dar ese cuadro. Yo, según yo, debería tener espacio suficiente, ¿no? Pero ni idea. sobreviviente. Claro, a ver, ya no voy a hacer esto, si no nos vamos a demorar mucho. Terminemos la pelea y avancemos en la misión, creo yo.
Not bad. Regis! Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be another way in around here.
De nuevo. El mismo cuadro. Se supone que hay una entrada a una cueva, pero tal vez está más abajo, o sea. No logro verlo, o sea, encuentro el modo de entrar a la cripta, me dice. Parece que este es.
Giving me no choice. Let's dance. Kicking wars. There's victuals aplenty around here. That's some stench.
No voy a dejar huevitos porque si los dejo van a salir. No. El lobo blanco esconde.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Covinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I, in turn, gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Covinaris spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were culled to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned, him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Got plenty of questions I'd like to ask, but let's postpone any longer conversations until things calm down.
Unable to focus your thoughts at the moment, I understand. I too am anxious to know the news.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse, in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in... spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were going to make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
Bueno, entonces de nuevo me están dando esa mierda de leer, no sé qué weá será, pero no me dejan leer nada, o sea, aunque ponga el lobo blanco del conde Blon, no sé qué, aunque ponga leer, les voy a ser honestos, no me dejan leer. Así que veamos. Y ya estamos con el tiempo también. A ver, veamos qué onda. Se supone que está acá. Y no debería ser difícil.
Never a good omen.
Pero los perros son fáciles.
Raven wasn't lying. Spoons all over the place. Strange. Get a sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm. A message. Trying to tell me something. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy
parece a mi casa,
in the
weón.
mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around. What a pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship. Must have graced a rich man's table. Poor girl. Realized she was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journals up.
Entonces me dice que opcionalmente puedo leer acerca del monstruo que sea. Da lo mismo, no lo voy a chequear. Me da flojera.
Maybe.
No creo que sea difícil, la verdad.
No spoon you have shall say to you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. Right arm bit right off. Teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him. Broken neck. Indentation in the skull's lateral surface. Smacked in the head with something heavy. No claw or fang marks. Probably choked to death. Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic.
O sea, si me pusiera a leer cada carta que me llega o cada carta que encuentro, no terminaría nunca el juego.
Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one.
Eso sí hay que decirlo, o sea... Sí, o sea, podrías terminarlo igual, no digo que no, pero... te demorarías más.
White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. A spoon key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector.
A ver, veamos, ya estamos con el tiempo, pero... preguntar. Yo creo que lo dejo hasta acá porque voy a tener que volver, supongo, aquí y preguntar por esto primero. Así que nada, ya saben, suscríbanse, dejen like, compartan el canal y los veo en la siguiente. Cuídense.